Hi, I'm Isaac Doffin with Israel 2.1. Today I'll be talking about the history of the political crisis in Libya. Libya became an Italian colony during the Italo-Turkish War of 1911. The Italians were known for persecuting Libya's largely Bedouin population. King Idris of Cyrenaica, one of Libya's states, led several revolts against the Italians between the world wars. In 1943, British forces led by Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery liberated Libya from the Italians. Libya would remain under Allied occupation until the 1950s. During the period of Allied occupation, anti-Jewish riots led to the death of hundreds of Libyan Jews, the destruction of homes and businesses. By 1949, 30,000 of Libya's Jews had fled the country. In 1952, the United Nations decided that Libya should be an independent country. King Idris would establish a constitutional monarchy, offering many Western freedoms to his people. The discovery of oil in Libya would increase the country's revenue, although many Libyans felt that King Idris kept too much of the wealth for himself. In 1967, riots again plagued the Jewish community in Libya, as the Six-Day War raged between Israel and its neighbors. 6,000 Libyan Jews appealed to King Idris for the right to leave the country temporarily. They were airlifted to Rome. Most left shortly thereafter for the United States. Some remained and became influential members of Rome's Jewish community. Nasserism and pan-Arab nationalism were on the rise in Libya in the 60s. Citing King Idris's growing wealth, the presence of wealthy foreign tourists, and the Western military presence, a group of army officers led by Muammar Gaddafi overthrew King Idris in 1969. By 1969, only about 100 Jews remained in Libya. Muammar Gaddafi confiscated their property and made it illegal for them to emigrate. Nevertheless, most of Libya's Jews fled. By 2002, the last Jew known to be living in Libya had traveled to Rome. In 1977, Gaddafi led Libya to war with Egypt over Egypt's decision to make peace with Israel. The Egyptian forces easily defeated Libya, killing about 400 Libyan soldiers and destroying most of Libya's armored divisions. Libyan diplomats have recently alleged that Muammar Gaddafi ordered the bombing of Pan Am Flight 103, which crashed over Lockerbie, Scotland, leading to the deaths of 270 people. Due to the number of terrorist activities emanating from Libya in the 1980s, President Reagan ordered a bombing attack. This was a warning to Libya to cease its terrorist activities. Much as pan-Arab nationalism affected Libya in the 1960s, protests in Tunisia and Egypt have also had an effect. Libyan forces have shown no restraint in firing at protesters, including the use of anti-tank weapons. Amid calls for his resignation, Muammar Gaddafi has promised to fight to the death. The United States has condemned the violence against the protesters and has stepped up its military presence in the region. For your in-depth look at current events in the Middle East, Israel 2.1 at thejewishNewsPlace.com.